Welcome to the Barry Charles Footy Show car video edition. Yes, today, Laurie Daley, yes, he is back in New South Wales fold. We'll talk about the retirement of Paul Vautin and talk about all the broadcasters, celebrity TV people he brought on and made careers for them. And Papua New Guinea, soon to be announced as the 18th team in front of the Western Reds, and who should be team number 20 to make a conference of 10, two conferences of 10 teams, just a bit like the NBA. Well, yes, welcome to Barry Charles Footy Show. Let's head it off with Laurie Daley. Yes, Laurie Daley is New South Wales coach for 2025. Is it the right move? I have my question marks around it. To be honest, Craig Bellamy comes in, he's failed. Laurie Daley's failed. You're putting a lot of failure into this context on the New South Wales squad. I understand that they had the strongest. They had some immortals in their Queensland team, but at the end of the day, there was a couple of games that they just about could have won, and it would have been totally different history, and potentially they wouldn't have been the immortals they turned out to be. They did get that way in the end, but yes. So for me, Laurie Daley, what do I feel about his appointment? I think it's potentially going to be backwards for New South Wales. They currently probably have the better team of the two, to be fair, so he's got his chance to deliver. They have a much stronger outlet than what Queensland do currently, but that doesn't breed success. Craig Bellamy, he's been an outstanding coach, no doubt about it. But when it's come to the representative level, he has not delivered so far. But no doubt he's a talented coach, don't get me wrong. But is he more talented in the lower grades, getting those players that are just those battlers and taking them to the next level? Like you look at Cooper Cronk, Jerome Hughes. Like if they were at other clubs, they would have been battlers and would never have made the careers that they have now. That's just proven the pudding. When they leave Storm, 95% of the time the players go backwards, that middle ground type player. Cooper Cronk exceeded all expectations, there's no doubt about that. He was well out from where they were expecting him to be at the start of his career, so he made the biggest jump ever from a Craig Bellamy player, no doubt about it. And a list of players like Dale Finucane, Brian Norrie, there's just countless of players that they brought on, Sean Bloor, and recently Ali Katoa. These players were just battlers, and now they're turning into household names, or getting close to household names. To me, New South Wales coach, would I've gone for Matt King? There's no proof he would have done any better, to be honest, but again, the young age coaches that they are going with, like the Jason Rolls and the like, so he's in that mould, where Laurie Daley is more old school, as a group back in the day, they were liking the drink, so is that the culture you have for this day and age? Is this the right way to go? Time will tell. Who would I have gone for? Well, it's hard to know who you'd go for here, but I still think the likes of Jeff Tooby would have been on my list if you're wanting an out-and-out former player. But again, not proven at that level, so you could argue that as well. But that's who I would have gone with. Now, Paul Vautin, yes, our mate Paul Vautin has retired. Been a long, outstanding career. Obviously, the footy show, there will never be a show ever like that in NRL, in the history of the game. That was the best show that footy we've ever seen, and there will never be another one like it. The footy show was absolutely a gem, one of a kind. It will never be replicated in this lifetime. So the people that got to enjoy it, it was absolutely comedic gold. All the shows you have now, there's just nothing like it. Absolutely nothing like it. Matty Johns tries at times, but he's getting a little bit older as well, so he's not the same as he used to be. So yes, let's have a look at Paul Vautin, what he did for so many careers. Obviously, at the start there was Harrigan and Sterlo. You had the likes of Ryan Girdler was there for a time. Daryl Broman, Mario Fennick. Then later on you saw the likes of Bo Ryan come into the picture. Obviously Matthew Johns was there as well. His famous Reg Reagan, obviously the most famous one out of the show. Reg Reagan, but he had other alter egos like Trent the gay person, and there was plenty others. Bo Ryan, who could have fought Sammy Boyle and the Whakatane. Yes, so with Benji Marshall, if you remember back to those days. Absolute comedic gold. But yeah, absolutely, Matthew Johns has been the biggest person he's really brought on, and then he moved on. The best, obviously, in terms of doing great things in the media space, also taming down a bit, so they need someone to take his spot as the comedian. We haven't really got that at the moment in the NRL space. Is all straight-laced, all that stuff, and that's what's the world's going to do. Yes, now PNG to be announced, the 18th team, but how long we've been waiting for an announcement from either the Western Bears or the PNG. We've been waiting a long time, and still nothing confirmed as yet. But it's believed that PNG is going to be now the next one in line. Whether it's the next team involved, first off, we don't know. But I think they're all looking in the wrong areas. But anyway, let's just talk through PNG's positives. They got us, what is it? $600 million, or was it 60 million? Sorry, whatever it is, 60 million probably. Government grant, so that gives them some stability. I think over a 10-year period, so I think 6 million, something like that. If it's more, it's more. But at least it's a start for PNG. But to me, is who is going to want to live in PNG? That is the problem they're gonna face the whole time. Because the training, that is going to be the biggest problem. I can understand people living in Australia and going to play there, but would you have the trainings outside of Papua New Guinea and then have one in Papua New Guinea? Would that be the one? But there'd be a lot of flying for players in and out, and cost involved in doing that. But that's probably the only way I can see this working. Otherwise, you're just going to have a 95% Papua New Guinean team. So that's up for the NRL to figure out. For mine, I think the team has to be based somewhere else, and then they can fly over on Thursday or Friday, a couple of days before the game, have a game on at the field. I think otherwise, I think it's going to be an absolute failure, and they'll debunk before 5 years. I put it out there. If they try to go down that route, or you have to live in PNG, I think you're going to see in 5 years' time this team will be gone, and it could be gone before then. I just can't see it working. People are not going to live in those conditions, just live in a bubble, which is pretty much what they'll do in a compound area. They want to go explore. You don't get that luxury in PNG, and they won't have the facilities you want to explore with either. So that's the issue you got with Papua New Guinea. But I mean, positive obviously for the nation, no doubt about it. Absolutely, they love rugby league, and it would be great to have a team there. But to me, I just don't know about the logistics. I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't work, but highly unlikely it's going to be a successful team if they have to live there. If they can train outside of there and fly over for the games, then I think you got a chance that Papua New Guinea could be successful. The Western Bears, well, they've tried a couple of times with this side of thing, and they've failed so far. The Perth Reds been disappointing. Can they get it done this time around? Well, they look like they're trying to push North Sydney into this thing. Do you just have a team in North Sydney? Probably too many Sydney sides, but I would love to see the North Sydney Bears back just on their own realm. But I understand for the travel they want to have nationwide, so this would be a good example of a team. You would argue Adelaide would have to bounce back in if you wanted to make it very much Northern Territory, but they're not going to have one there, are they? But Papua New Guinea, I think, would have to be in. You potentially look at the Northern Territory area or into Queensland, Cairns. I mean, that is the option for them. The Western Bears, they're going to be called if they come through. Again, it's another one of the lifestyle things that people going to live there is going to be the issue. And that's probably what the issue last time, trying to get the real good quality players. You can get a few, but trying to get a whole lot to go there, that's going to be the problem with the Western Bears. But the team that they should be looking at is another New Zealand team. Yes, whether that's Wellington or Christchurch, one of the two. It has to be. That should be, for me, the 18th team. I don't even know why they're not pushing it. At the moment, right here, right now, rugby league has taken over. Yes, rugby league has taken over rugby in New Zealand. And you can look at from the crowded gates. Mount Smart sold out all year. It's never happened in their history. Unbelievable. And they struggled this season, and still to have all these people turning up every single week. Rugby league is number one in New Zealand for the first time, and I had to leave the country for this to happen. Unbelievable. But anyway, rugby league has become number one, but the Kiwis majorly failed. Didn't help the cause. But yes, either Canterbury or Wellington, they should be the next plot for me. Absolutely. They sell out, have that bang bang. And if you want another one to add to the list, well, they have State of Origin. Let's have a New Zealand origin. Yes, North versus South Island. That's the way they should look at it. Or whatever you want to do. If there's not enough players in the South Island, do from Auckland, so Auckland up, and then the rest of the country. Whatever you want to do. So it'll be like an Auckland versus the rest of the country, you could argue. But that would be where you should look at potentially for rugby league. But anyway, that is the Barry Charles Footy Show for another episode. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with many more videos to come.